Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, I have another beverage that I wanted to try out for you. We're doing it in here in the office because I'm watching some YouTube videos and editing some videos. But anyway, this is not technically a beer, I don't think. It says it's a flavored malt beverage, and I'm usually not a fan of malt beverages, but it says it's a hard root beer, a fire brewed hard root beer. So definitely worth, giving it a shot anyway. Root beer is a very strong flavor, so of all the different flavors you can come up with, or at least hard sodas, root beer would probably be, you'd think, the easiest to mask like an alcohol flavor. These come in at 5%. The company is Sprecher, I believe, that puts this out. So anyway, we're going to give this a shot here. Got the little Balisong bottle opener. And whoop, pop that off all the way. All right, so let's get this poured in a glass. It smells like root beer. Actually smells more like birch beer than it does root beer. Like some sarsaparilla. Ooh, anyway, it's got a regular root beer color to it. Just a straight up kind of medium brown. You can see it's pretty carbonated. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, in the glass it smells a little bit different now. It's got I mean, it still has that kind of birch beer smell, but there's something else in the background that's off-putting. I can't really place it, but anyway, let's try it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, no. All right, I'm gonna give this a fair shot and try it again. Nope, there it is. Okay, so it starts off very much like a really good, like, birch beer. Not even root beer, just straight up to birch beer. Um, and it's good, starting off. But the second you swallow, there's this really, really strange aftertaste. And I think it is a combination of the malt, because I definitely taste malt flavors in there, um, but also like a really fake smokiness. But it's not really strong either. It just has a very off-putting flavor. Like if you ever used liquid smoke, or had barbecue with like fake smoke flavor, barbecue sauce. They use liquid smoke inside the recipe and stuff. It's a very distinctive flavor, but in this, it really doesn't work. It doesn't really taste smoky. I just can tell that they're trying to do something in there that's going to make it smoky, being, fire brewed, right? Is that what they said? Yes, fire brewed. So no, it's not smoky at all. But there's definitely a weird aftertaste, and that's what's in the smell too. When I put it in the glass, I got a better whiff of it. It's just off. Um, and you know what? Even though it looked like there was plenty of carbonation on there, it's more on the flat side. It's more on the homemade root beer side of things as far as like the mouthfeel and the carbonation there. It's semi-flat. You know, I personally wouldn't get this again. I got this on a whim because it sounded great. If you can drink something that tastes exactly like root beer, it might be something different than having a beer, or especially if you know people who are going to a party or something like that and they don't like beer and they don't like hard liquor. Having mixed drinks or drinks like this, might be a nice transition for them. So that it'd be like if they're drinking a regular, root beer, but it would be alcoholic. It's not, I don't want to say it's horrible, but it's definitely not really good in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of root beer, okay, so I could be more critical of it. If you didn't like root beer to begin with, you're certainly not going to like this. But if you're a root beer fan, I think that you're going to think it's off. There's definitely something in the aftertaste that's just not good. The good news is that it fades off very quickly. For example, there's the taste. Mostly malt, a little bit of fake, some kind of chemical, and literally it's gone. So very, very flat finish. It doesn't linger on there. So, you know, um, if it's something you really don't like, that tail end of the flavor, it doesn't hang on with you. So it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to say it's like total garbage, but I can tell you I personally would never, ever buy this again. I'm not a fan of it. I would much, much rather get regular root beer, cheap, even dollar store root beer, and spike it with, vodka or something like that before I would get this again. It's just not good. Like I know there's some mixed drinks, like they're pre-mixed, um, you know, whiskey and Coke, mixes and stuff like that, and obviously there's hard root beers, but I would love to try other hard root beers. This one just it doesn't do it for me. I'm really not a fan of it. And to be honest, it was expensive as hell too. I picked it up and I didn't know the price because I was at a Wegmans and the price was covered by something else. And I assumed they would be like, maybe $7 or $8 for like a 6-pack or something. But I noticed that it was actually only a 4-pack. And a 4-pack rang up $6.99. So, $7 doesn't seem all that expensive, but it is only 4 beers. It's not even beer, it's a malt beverage. For the same price, I'd rather get something else, put it that way. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of it. Could be worse, but it really, really could have been better. Low, middle of the road with this. I wouldn't recommend it. If you happen to see it and you're a huge root beer fan, like everything else, the whole point of me doing beer reviews and liquor reviews is to try new things. I rarely get the same thing over and over again. I always like trying new stuff, and that's why I got this, is just to try something new. But, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't like it that much. So anyway, that's my review of the Sprecher Fire Brewed Hard Root Beer. Not a fan. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you happen to try this specific type of beverage, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. They also had a ginger beer, a hard ginger beer. So again, ginger being a very strong flavor. I'm really on the fence now if I want to try that one. I would say probably not, but who knows? Maybe I will anyway, just for the hell of it. So that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have a very safe weekend. If you're going to be drinking, don't be driving. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.